we also provide a merit cum mean scholarship based on the student's socioeconomic status plus his academic performance.
So is
But
academic
the
performance in the first year?
and all the toppers of each PGDM program, so PGDM finance, PGDM marketing that we have, the toppers are also given some scholarships. So that is also there at the end of the.
What
Yes,
kind
yes.
of questions can a student expect in that written test?
Whether you're doing marketing or whether you're doing HR or finance, do you understand what a customer thinks, or do you understand how a shareholder thinks?
I hope students who've been listening to us also this was you've made notes of it. Watch the video once again to understand. Hi everyone, welcome on board. This is Anisha here. Today in conversation with Dr. Matharu from IMT Nagpur. Sir is currently the faculty chairperson for admissions and we have requested Sir to share some insights about IMT Nagpur's admission process and the scholarships, and we will take a little cheat code from Sir also ki how do you make sure you convert the IMT calls. So make sure you're listening the video right till the end, and thank you so much Sir for making time for us today. Sir, how before we talk about for this entire scholarships and all for students, how has your journey been at IMT Nagpur, sir?
Okay, so I've been here in IMT Nagpur for about last 15 years.
Wow.
It's a very, very long period of time. Yeah. So, and of course, handle various portfolios. So, we keep on looking at different portfolios at different points of time. So, at the moment, I am the faculty chairperson for admissions for the last 2 years. Okay, and a bit about myself. Before that, I have done my MBA from Australia, and I've done my PhD from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, New Delhi.
Yes.
So and that's so. After that, I kind of went into academics, of course, and partly, of course, just to tell you that for about 5 years, I also worked in the stock markets.
Oh wow!
So that that's what my journey has been till now.
And that's where, sir, you have been teaching finance also to the students on campus, which is there. Lovely.
Yeah, so I teach corporate finance, I teach financial modeling, I teach portfolio management. These are my subjects.
Amazing. That's so amazing, sir. So, with 15 years, you would have, sir, seen the entire transformation of the IMT Nagpur's growth journey, which has come. And how do you see, what all has changed there?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, what we see as infra-wise, we have grown very well. We've added, new faculty blocks, new, classroom blocks. So all those things have happened. Secondly, we have seen students' quality going up over the years. Okay, that is also, we have seen that. And secondly, as our own growth, we also become much more kind of, focused on research as well. That's very important for faculty members. So overall, you see that things have become better over the last many years now. Many years, it's been growing very well.
Lovely. That's amazing, sir. And now, sir, since we are talking about the scholarships, currently, what are the scholarships options available for all the students who are applying for IMT Nagpur?
Yes. So, basically, we have two kinds of scholarships, which we call scholarships as such. So, one is that merit scholarship, right? So, which is kind of, there are a lot of students who are not able to, afford the fees that we have. By the way, the fees is 16 lakhs for 2 years for us.
Yes.
So that is, but that includes, hostel, mess, books, admission fee, etc.
Okay.
So on that, so now if some student, a meritorious student is scoring 90 percentile and above in CAT or ZAT, and because we take GMAT also, we also give scholarships. If somebody scored 700 in the 10th edition or 645 in the focus edition of GMAT, they are eligible for a 40% scholarship.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So what happens is that's a big number and huge amount of money you save.
Yes.
So total fees actually comes out to be round about 10 lakhs. So about 6 lakhs is what you get as scholarship. That's the first thing.
Lovely.
And the second thing that we have is for all female students, we provide a 20% scholarship. Now, the whole idea is to kind of increase gender diversity, because we see in business schools, mostly the girls, that population is on the lower side. So what we have been doing is, for the past few years, trying to give the scholarship so that gender diversity is there, and that adds value to the classroom discussions.
Okay.
So if you look at the numbers, the total fees that is payable is around 13 lakhs. for the girl. So which
Okay.
again, for the girl students, which includes, of course, again, hostel, mess books, etc. Right? So about 3 lakhs of scholarship you get here.
So basically, this is for all the girl students. The fees is going to be 13 lakhs.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's
Yes.
amazing. Lovely,
Yes.
lovely,
Yes.
great, sir.
And of course, of the girls, if somebody is having 90 percentile and above in CATSAT, of course, the person will get a 40% scholarship and not just 20%.
Okay, yes. So that's definitely an
yeah.
advantage.
Yes.
Great.
That is also there. Yeah.
Interesting.
And yeah. Apart from that, we also have this tuition fee waiver as per the AICTE norms, where you have 100% waiver on the academic fees. So that, of course, as per the norms we follow, and we have a due process for that. So for that, if somebody is eligible, for this tuition fee waiver, ultimately the student pays about 2,89,000, around about, less than 3 lakhs for the entire 2 years journey at IMT Nagpur. Okay.
Lovely.
And fourthly, so just to add that, because this is something that we generally don't talk about. And then the first year, when they're going to the second year, we also provide a merit cum means scholarship based on the student's socioeconomic status plus his academic performance.
So is academic performance in the first year?
In the first year.
Okay,
yeah.
Lovely.
And we look at whether, his socioeconomic status, and then, of course, the amount varies from year to year, but still it's a decent amount. And all the toppers of each PGDM program, so PGDM Finance, PGDM Marketing that we have, the toppers are also given some scholarships. So that is also there at the end of the first year.
Wow, that's a lot of options that are available, even
Yes.
not just in the start, but even after first year, how you are performing to get in those scholarships. That's brilliant. So, ये scholarships मिलेंगी जब students की admissions हो जाएंगी. So, what is the current selection process? Like, there are 2 rounds. One is through the students coming through the common application process where they have already been giving interviews. Now, how is the IMT Nagpur selection process? Is it similar to that or is it different?
Yeah, so process remains same.
Okay.
Except that the timing changes. That now the students, now in fact the process is going on. 22nd it is ending, right? So now what we'll do is once we're getting applications already, and we have for the IMT Nagpur specifically, and now we will be holding one process in the month of March.
Okay.
And in that, again, the process remains the same. We will have, once you clear our cutoffs, so again, for the cutoffs, just a quick brief idea that CATSAT last year was about 75 percentile.
Okay.
Last year, again, for CMAT, we stopped around 90 percentile for CMAT. So once you cross that hurdle, then you have the CT and PI process, what we call critical thinking and personal interview process, CT and PI.
Okay.
Now that there are 2 things there. So critical thinking and personal interview. Critical thinking test is a written test, followed by of course, face-to-face interaction with the faculty members. Once you clear that hurdle, then we also look at other things, like if somebody has got a work ex of it, and also academic scores as well.
Okay.
And we then create a merit score, and then finally we kind of give the offer letters all combined together.
Okay, that's understood. So when you mentioned like the critical test is a written test, critical thinking, what kind of questions can a student expect in that written test?
Okay, so generally we'll pick up a small kind of may not be calling it a case net, but kind of a description of a general problem or a business problem. Let's say something like impact of AI on business, or something like that, where certain policy changes have been made by the government. What is the impact of that on businesses? So we will try to give you a kind of a situation where they will have to understand the pros and cons of it. Maybe pick up a view that, okay, this is what I feel is right. Or this is what is going to happen. This is going to be the impact, and why do you think so? So kind of looking at their ability to analyze. And the problem solving skills we are looking at. And of course, apart from that, we of course look at the writing skills. That's very important. Written communication is one that is. So these are the components of our critical thinking test.
Awesome. That's great, sir. And how about the personal interview, which is face-to-face? 15 years, so you would have taken tons of students' interviews.
Yes, of course.
what do you look for in the candidates when you're taking an interview?
So, of course, first obvious thing that comes is oral communication. How you are able to present yourself. Of course, it should be well groomed also. I mean, that's it's a given, but then still sometimes some students are not kind of so well groomed, so we have to be very careful about that. Your confidence, then your ability to answer questions effectively. In fact, like as we always say that if you have to take 15 seconds to think about it, think and then answer, because we are looking at your of course your communication skills, but how well you analyze. Your analytical things are your skills are very, very important. Then, of course, we are also looking at things like whether you understand the how the other person is thinking. Like suppose in business, customer is the most important person, right?
Right.
Now, whether you are able to understand whatever, whether you're doing marketing or whether you're doing HR or finance, do you understand what a customer thinks, or do you understand how a shareholder thinks? What does an investor want? So we will pose you some questions on which we'll try to judge you on that as well.
True.
Okay. And apart from that, if you have kind of led a team somewhere, whether you are able to work in a team better or not, or whether you are kind of flexible and adaptable to change or not. So and overall, of course, we try to understand that somebody has done some work in some field, so we'll try to focus on that. It is not that we will kind of try to ask you things from anywhere. So we'll try to make a connection with what you have on your CV, what you have done in your undergraduation. If you have a work ex, fine. And other than that, what are your interests and hobbies? So the questions, generally we'll try to connect to those things. It's not that at random we will be asking questions from anywhere. So that at least the person is able to answer those questions. So this is what the focus is of the personal interview.
Awesome. That's really nice. I think that was a really good deep insight into what goes into the entire CTPI process. I hope students who've been listening to us also you've made notes of it. Watch the video once again to understand, how the entire IMT Nagpur process will go around. I thank you so much, sir, for joining in, and we would love to invite you to take some more sessions with the students, especially based on your experience in finance and the way things have been moving for all the B school students. So once again, thank you so much, sir, for joining in.
Welcome. See you soon.
Thank you so much. And all the students who've been listening, if you have any doubts or questions with respect to your profile, your percentile, should you apply to IMT Nagpur or not, drop in the comment section and we will take it up for your assistance. All the best and take care.